What's going on, y'all? It's Elixir. We are back with another Type Soul video. Today I'm going to be giving my honest review as a Type Soul tester. If you didn't know, content creators were actually able to test out the game. I was able to test out some of the reworks, the parrying, the combat. We're going to be going over it all in this video and talk about some of the unfortunate nerfs that you guys have been hearing about as well. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Comment down below, do you think Type Soul is going to reach over 100,000 players on release, or do you think it's going to be a big flop? Let me know down below. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it, boys. Alright guys, the first thing I want to go ahead and go over is the elephant in the room. Obviously, a video came out leaking that Arancars do only have one partial in the game now. Yes, it did get nerfed and lost that, but I'm going to go ahead and say right here and now that nothing was put on a pedestal. Soul Reapers aren't just automatically better. Quincy's aren't doing any better. Everything got a little bit of a rework. Everything got touched on. So just go ahead and wait for the game to come out. I will say myself, I did get on a Arankar and I was pretty confused that we only had one partial in the game. But I'm here to tell y'all, after a little bit of playing time, it really doesn't matter and it is not that deep. And each of the races got their own type of quote-unquote nerf, if you want to call it that. I'm gonna just go ahead and say rework. We will see when the game comes out. I do think Soul Reapers are still gonna be on top, but we will see what comes out with the game. We don't know what we're gonna be able to get in Hellverse. We don't know how fast a rage is gonna work and things of that nature. But one thing I can say for sure is the combat feels amazing. If you are sitting your sweaty ass on Type Soul Battlegrounds, I promise you, it's going to feel like a completely different game than you are playing right there. That game feels sloppy. It feels trash. But as soon as I got on Type Soul, everything is so smooth. Parrying feels phenomenal. I'm not even trying to glaze right now, but I'm telling y'all, a lot of people who remember my ranked videos, people would say, Yulixo, you don't parry that much. You parry like 2-3 times per fight. I'm over here parrying like 10 to 20 times in one fight, bro. Parrying times feel like they got a bit better, or maybe I just got a bit better, but who knows. The combat feels amazing. A lot of my content creator friends also agree with this, and it just feels like a little bit of a different game overall. Yes, air Hakuda is in the game, ground Hakuda is in the game, and there is a new race in the game, bro. We have Fullbringers in the game. It's going to be pretty insane, I'm not gonna lie. Slots aren't getting locked, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Everybody's gonna get violated. Nobody's gonna be able to prog, because I already know y'all toxic asses are gonna be after them Fullbringers, and I'm gonna be one of them. And I'm letting you know right now, if you try to kill me, you're getting put on a hit list and getting killed for the entirety of Type Soul until this shit rots and dies. Let's go ahead and cover game modes and then jump straight into the Hellverse content of the game. With game modes, Soul Wars, Colon Games, which are the two new game modes in the game. Clan Wars is still in the game. Don't worry, guys. I don't know why a lot of people think it is being replaced. It is still there. It should still be there. We have ranked in the game as well, and there is a Soul Pass. My personal take, Soul Wars, I don't know. There is a higher chance of Soul Wars being the better game mode because you do have presets in the game, and a lot of people won't have to go ahead and grind for mode. As far as Colon Games, I don't think anybody is going to be playing that shit, if I'm being completely honest, because you do need to have your own mode and it rolls up to 10 players. So unless they wait for a complete max out of 30 players in the game doing a 10v10, you could possibly have 4 Quincy's fighting 10 Soul Reapers and 11 of Arancars. So I don't think it's going to be the best balance, and Fullbringers are going to be taken into account as well, which most of the player base is excited to play on in the first place. So Colon Games might be completely out of the picture, but for Soul Wars, you can try out some of the new Fullbringers. You could use the Soul Pass and unlock the other Fullbringers in the game, which is a nice touch for the people who don't want to grind, for the people who don't want to play hours on end. Getting the best gear and everything, you could just have a preset build and go ahead and play Search and Destroy, and I'm sure they'll add some other stuff besides Search and Destroy, another type of game mode for Soul Wars, maybe just a normal 4v4. But the big thing we need to talk about is Hellverse and Permadeath. Alright guys, unless you're utterly in the dark, Cetra made an announcement yesterday letting us know that Permadeath is in the game. Essentially, it is not a full wipe, but basically you're going to be stuck in a world where you have to fight a version of yourself that is on the complete even standpoint. If you pop Shikai, it pops Shikai. If you pop Visor, it pops Visor. Bankai, Bankai. You guys get the gist. You're gonna have to go ahead and fight it, and the more times you wipe in hell, the more versions of yourself you're gonna fight. So you could fight up to 5 versions of yourself, 10 versions of yourself. It all really depends on the skill issue you have in Hellverse or not. This could be really good, this could be really bad, because people who can't beat their own Shikai aren't going to be able to beat this boss, because it's probably going to have a little bit more HP, I would assume, because Hellverse is to get the new content in the game. So they're not going to make it completely even to where you could just slap on this thing with a base katana. But if you die 3 times, you're gonna go ahead and hop in there and fight 3 fucking Bankais, which good luck to you. You can buy a dev product that resets it to 1. I don't know if there's gonna be a dev product that completely takes you out, or if you're gonna be able to spend 1,000 Robux like Deepwoken and get yourself out if you're not able to beat your Bankai or your whatever you have, your Segunda or whatever it is. But the good news is that in Hellverse, you can literally send Kaimon out. So if you're not in danger, if you're with a squad, please do not play Hellverse. If you don't have any friends to play with, go ahead and talk to some people in the type soul VCs or something. No matter how toxic it is, just get in there with some players, but beware, because they could wipe you themselves, bro. There's gonna be some crazy TikToks, some crazy stories I'm already knowing, and I don't know if it's gonna be an open world where we could have like 20 other players down in Hellverse with us competing against us. But there's 3 rings in hell. There's a lot of badges that we can go ahead and go over. Some of them are pretty nuts. Let's go ahead and talk about. So we got Conquer the Abyssal Feline. Doesn't seem like it belongs here, or is it because it's the other way around? I can 100% say that this is in Hellverse. We got a Weakened Gate Guardian. This guy is probably going to be the one way to get into Hellverse. We're going to fight some boss that is protecting it and go ahead and get in there. And then we have the Highway, Ring 1, Ring 2, Ring 3, and a ton of other stuff. The Light of Truth, Shadow of Doubt. You can attain Almighty in the game. I don't know how this is going to be possible. No, I do not have any details on how to do this, but it's going to be pretty interesting to see who gets Almighty first. And then we also have Shunko. True Shunko, whatever you guys want to call it, is actually finally in the game. Y'all could be Yoruichi. Y'all could go crazy, man. The game has a ton of new stuff, and the fact that you can get badges adds a lot onto the game, and I think that will help it have its peak performance, because there is some stuff to gain in the game besides just killing random players over and over and just have brain rot battlegrounds type shit happening in KT and just killing people. There's some things to achieve in this game. There's new armor to achieve in the game. There's new weapons to achieve in the game. There's new elements to achieve in the game. This is going to add a lot, and we have true modes in the game, which is probably going to take people like 2 weeks to a month to attain, but it will give a huge reward. It will feel like a huge reward when you're the only player with true Bankai in the server, and you can pop a domain and clap absolutely everybody, and people aren't just popping true Bankai left and right. So that leaves me with my final thoughts on the game. I do personally think the game will touch over 100,000 players, and that players will love the game regardless. As long as you're willing to put in a little bit of work, you're going to be rewarded for that work, guys. True modes are one of the best, most amazing things I've seen in the game. I have seen about maybe 6 or 7 of them in person in an actual game, fighting against them, and they're pretty crazy, and it's a huge difference from Bankai. It is a huge difference from Segunda. It is a huge difference from Vol standing. You guys are just gonna have to see it for yourselves. I personally think that the game will be better than it ever was in the past. Updates will be dropping left and right, and you guys are left with tons of content. We have a ton of reworks in the game. I'm going to be posting on the flower rework later if you got to this part of the video, so go ahead and turn on post notifications. Leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. My goal for the end of the year is 50,000 subscribers. Let's go ahead and knock it out, man. Thank y'all for watching to the end. I appreciate each and every single Ulixian that has been here since the beginning, since the Peroxide days, since the Type Soul re-release days. I'm gonna catch y'all boys in the next one. As always, it's your boy Ulixo. Peace. Let me know your thoughts down below.